Games happened on Friday, January 26th, when Luka made history, scoring 73 points. Goes for 73, and honestly, I think he also had 7 assists. So if he wanted, if he's chasing points, he could have 80. If he were chasing points, still has 7 assists, 73 points. So he generated like 90 points, depending on how many threes they made. Crazy stuff from Luka. Played 44 minutes, and they needed his scoring and the assist. Also, Atlanta defense is also no good. If you have Luka in fantasy and you're down in points, you're down in field goals, you're down in threes, very, very big boost. Also 15 for 16 from free throw. If Luka can make his free throws on a per game basis, right, he could, on the season, he's the sixth ranked player. He's shooting 77% on 9 attempts. That is not good. So if that goes to like 85, he'll be a top 3 player. Averaging ridiculous 34.6 points, while Joel Embiid is averaging 36 points. Yeah, these boys are crazy this year. Tim Hardaway Jr. Does better with Kyrie than with Luka, because he doesn't really just get that many shots up. He still got 9 shots, 9 threes, 13 points. Josh Green made his threes, 21 points. We could stream him in the short term, right? Derrick Jones Jr. is also hurt, so Josh Green will be the prime candidate to stream for some threes. Really, he doesn't really provide that many defensive stats. Derek Lively is a must roster. Had 11 rebounds and still 4 blocks. He's not going to do this every game, and also it's versus the Hawks, but he needs to be rostered. We look at the Atlanta Hawks. DeJounte Murray is in many trade talks. Had 22 points, 7 assists, 3 threes. Okay. I mean, I think if he goes to the Lakers, probably similar. He's going to put up similar stats. But maybe he just had more motivation because on this team, the Hawks, they're actually heading for they're 10. I think they're probably going to they're just gonna squeeze in to be the 10th seed. Where on the Lakers, if he does get traded, he's gonna try harder because Lakers they gotta make up grounds. They gotta make the plays at least. East is easy, Trey, 11 assists, 30 points. Not a bad game with 3 steals. Clint Capella. When your team scores 143 points, and how about Jalen Johnson? Another big game. A steal and a block, 25 points, 2 threes, 10 for 12 from the field. This man is amazing. But he might get overhyped a little bit next year, because at the end of the day, he's kind of like the 3rd or 4th option on the team. So a lot of his value coming from the crazy high minutes. So if they bring somebody else or somebody else is playing well, he may not get the minutes and therefore not able to produce. Sadiq Bey played huge minutes as well, and Bogdanovic came off the bench, took 22 shots, 22 field goals, the most on the team. He's just firing away with 4 threes and 24 points. He continues to be a must roster, and Capella and Kungu, none of them played that well. The next game is the Houston Rockets beat the Charlotte Hornets. Pretty good, 138-104. And how about Jalen Green? Jalen Green, huge game, 28 minutes at 36 points, 11 for 12 from the free throw line. Only hit 1 3. If he hit a couple more threes, it's easy 40-point game. But again, this game is against the Charlotte Hornets. Let's just monitor. If you have him, just monitor how he does the next couple games. But I think he's really trending toward a drop before this game. But every once in a while, right? Once every 10 games, he's going to surprise you. And how about Fred VanVleet? This man had 6 blocks here. He's been getting, on the season, Fred VanVleet is 23rd ranked player, back where he always been a couple years. And he's averaging 0.9. He's only averaging 1.1 steals this season. In the years in the past, he gets like 1.5. But 0.9 blocks is honestly amazing, and 8.4 assists is also really, really good. And, only turning the ball over 1.6 times. So all around, amazing stuff from Fred VanVleet. And Pro Shangun played just 25 minutes. Had an okay game, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, and 11 points in a block. We still don't have Tari Eason, and we don't have Jabari Smith Jr. So Jeff Green didn't really do anything. Dylan Brooks I don't think we even want to touch him because he doesn't really get any defensive stats now. And some of the guys came off the bench. Amen Thompson, we know what he could do, just like his brother, Osar Thompson. Those guys get a lot of defensive stats, but most nights just not getting minutes. They got minutes because it's a blowout. Meanwhile, Charlotte Hornets, with the blowout like this, Miles Bridges still played 36 minutes. Still getting high minutes, 2 threes. Had an okay game. LaMelo was bad, but still had 8 assists and 2 steals. But efficiency-wise, just horrible. Brandon Miller needs to be rostered everywhere after the Terry Rozier trade. I think even when guys come back, he's going to start and play huge minutes. So let's just roster him. I mean, he doesn't actually have huge upside because, with all these guys, you're not going to get a huge amount of points. But he's going to get minutes. And hopefully he can give us more defensive stats. And Nick Richards is a must roster. Destroy your free throw just a little bit. 7 rebounds and 3 blocks is not bad. Like, he's gonna get minutes on this team because Mark Williams is basically gone for the season at this point. Cody Martin, another guy that we could possibly stream at least whenever Gordon Hayward comes back, and PJ Washington. I think with Terry Rozier gone, that also helps with his minutes. He might get a few extra minutes at 3 blocks here, so he's also a must roster. The next game, Devin Booker had 60 points. 62 points, but that is not enough to beat. Well, the Suns, they were also hot coming into this game. They won like 5 straight. Devin Booker had a beautiful game the night before, 2 days ago. 62 points, amazing stuff. I mean, the NBA, when you play certain teams, when you play with the Pacers, you're going to put up some numbers. Like Charlotte Hornets, also their defense is not so great. Atlanta Hawks. So it's actually not that surprising to see somebody put up 50, 40, 60 is surprising. But he really had it going. KD, of course, when Devin Booker is going for 62, Bradley Beal and KD, they're just really there to support. Both had a decent game, and Yusuf Nurkic left the game. Hopefully he's all right. I mean, if Nurkic end up missing time, Chimezie Metu is the guy and Drew Eubanks, that maybe we could possibly look into. Drew Eubanks can put up some blocks, some rebounds, so we could look for him. But let's see how bad Yusuf Nurkic is injured. I don't think it's that serious at all. And Grayson Allen is also on must roster. Just look at the minutes. 37 minutes a night. They're really, really top heavy. So Grayson Allen has been fitting in pretty good. They're just hammering him with the minutes. Same thing with Aaron Gordon. He's really the only guy off the bench that's actually that contribute. Feel like some of the other guys, they're not so good. They got to roll with the guys that are actually good. They shot 57% and still lost the game. With no Tyrese Halliburton, no problem. Jalen Smith, huge game, not huge, but double with by his standard, a steal and a block. T.J. McConnell with everybody out, he just gets 18 minutes. I think it's okay to move on from him, to be honest. Tyrese Halliburton's injury is not that serious. So he could be back next week, and T.J. McConnell just been getting 18 minutes. If you need assist, sure, hold on to him. Otherwise, I would just drop him. Siakam, 31 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. Amazing game from him. And Aaron Nesmith also need to be rostered in the short term. And Miles Turner, because the Phoenix decided to go small, so he was kind of useless. Therefore, the low minutes, I wouldn't worry too much. He should be getting starter minutes next year. Buddy Hield, same thing. If you have Buddy Hield, I will hold on to him. For whatever reason, they just decided not to go with him. Maybe he's not having a good night. The next game is the Clippers, of course, beat the Toronto Raptors. Clippers are on a roll. I think we all know that. The whole NBA notices it. And they're right now moving to, 2 games behind Thunder and Timberwolves. I mean, honestly, they could be the first seed by the end of the season. They really could. And Denver now actually dropped to the 4th seed. So the West is super, super competitive this year. Paul George played 28 minutes, 3 threes, 21 points, a steal and 2 blocks. Not the best game, but I think good enough. Just the rebound and assist is amazingly low. Kawhi Leonard, sure, 16 points. You might be disappointed, but just look at the rest of the line. 2 threes, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal and 2 blocks. Super, super efficient. only one turnover. Kawhi Leonard on the season on a per game basis, he's the seventh ranked player. Like if you have somebody like Shea and you have Kawhi Leonard as like your third round pick, and then your second round pick you have somebody like I'm trying to think super efficient. Like your team is scary, right? If you got a James Harden too, like these guys, they don't. They, and Shea doesn't really turn the ball over, and Harden is getting 8.6 assists with 2.6 turnover this year. So yeah, like if you want to build an efficient team, you go for Kyrie, you go for Kawhi Leonard, you got SGA. Your team is competitive in pretty much every category. You probably don't want to punt anything. If those are your top players. James Harden, speaking of him, a triple double in 35 minutes. He's been really good this year. After the trade, really turned it on. Still in the block. Yeah. And Russell Westbrook, I think he needs to be picked up. He's been getting a lot more minutes, 26 minutes here. 20 points, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. This year, amazingly, he's getting a lot of defensive stats. Like, on the season, he's a 163rd ranked player, but he's averaging 1.1 steals in 23 minutes. And 6 rebounds and 4.7 assists. I think he really focuses on, like, now he's just a lot of energy and can go for those, playing really good defense and generate those defensive stats for fantasy owners. So at this point, I think Russell Westbrook need to be picked up because the rebound, all the peripheral stats. For Toronto Raptors, Scotty Baum just straight up started at the center. Started at the point guard. He only 4 assists, not the best game. A little bit inefficient. Dennis Schroeder came off the bench 28 minutes with Emmanuel quickly out. Yeah, I think I would drop Dennis Schroeder once Emmanuel quickly comes back. Even with Emmanuel quickly off, right? He only got 28 minutes. He had a good game here, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block. But that just tells you like he's not getting the minutes he was getting this year. And again, if you need the assist, you have him. Otherwise, go with someone else. Gary Trent Jr., he's starting but not doing anything at the moment. I don't mind streaming him for threes, especially if you look for threes. I don't mind having him, to be honest. Like then somebody like Duncan Robinson or Max Strus, because I think he can just do more in other areas like getting steals. Max Strus maybe actually he does get a lot of rebounds, depending on what you need in other categories other than threes. Thaddeus Young started at the center with Perdo out. He's a guy that we could stream in the short term. He can put up some numbers. He did okay here, played 24 minutes. Bruce Brown also, he's getting a lot of minutes right now. Roll with him. I would say a sell high. But his minutes might go up since he gets traded to the Raptors. Raptors like to give guys huge minutes, and RJ played okay. Like he's a must roster, I think. But again, the bad habits here. He's shooting over 80% from the free throw line this year, but 4 for 8 here. Moving on to the next game, the Magic lost to the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies, they're actually winning games. They beat some quality teams somehow. Franz Wagner played okay. Ben Carroll, his efficiency is really his biggest problem. And Wendell Carter Jr., I think we need to pick him up. 35 minutes here. I don't know if giving Wendell Carter Jr. a huge minute helps. He had a big game, 8 for 9, huge minutes, and added 2 steals and 2 blocks. Well, we don't expect that from him. He usually give you 8, 9 rebounds and 13 points and nothing else. He doesn't get you any defensive stats. But just given the minutes, I think we got to have him now and see how things go. Jalen Suggs left the game early. Honestly, I'm okay moving on from him. Jalen Suggs is not somebody that I'm, at this point with everybody back that excited. And Markelle Fultz, just 21 minutes. The minutes is not there. He misses too much time. I don't think he needs to be rostered right now. Maybe at some point this season, if you want to hold on to him, sure. Maybe at some point he start playing 30 minutes, give you 6-7 assists with 1.3 steals, which is really good. But we just don't know when. That if you need to win games, I wouldn't hold on to him. Right now he's not really doing much. But another great win for the Grizzlies. And I think Santi Aldama needs to be rostered. He plays just 29 minutes, but you never know, man. They may give him 30 next game. He does do a little bit of everything else, and of course Vince Williams is the must roster. I mean, another great game, 3 threes, 5 rebounds, 4 assists with 2 blocks. The man can do everything. Jaren Jackson Jr. takes 30 shots a game now. Okay, that's he does what he does. But in terms of fantasy, those extra points are nice, but we need him to more blocks, which he's really not doing compared to last season. Jaren Jackson Jr. He is 51st ranked player. That's no good for a guy that's getting drafted in the second or third round. And the biggest thing this year is just getting 1.6 blocks. Luka, I think, is also a must roster. But just know like doesn't really give you any defensive stats. But if you're playing 30 plus minutes, yeah. John Conchar is starting. Minutes is low, but I would still have him. 3 steals and 2 blocks here, pretty good. And then Zaire Williams got a few extra minutes. I wouldn't trust it. But Sandy Aldama is a guy that we should pick up. Moving on to the next game, the Cleveland Cavaliers beat Milwaukee Bucks on the road. That is not ideal for the Bucks team. Donovan 32 points, and where's Darius Garland? We still haven't heard anything from him. Damn, he's been out for majority of the season, honestly. 32 points, 8 rebounds. So Donovan Mitchell continues to have crazy good values. He's a guy that maybe next year moving to the first round. I'm not sure. This year he's so far up just because the defensive stats and assist. Still maybe like toward the end of second or early third. Max Strus, 7 rebounds. He's a must roster. Just 2 threes, 4 assists, and 2 steals. I take back what I said about Max Strus earlier. He actually provides some other categories, especially rebound, other than threes. Jaron Allen continued to eat without Evan Mobley. Karis LeVert only 24 minutes. I mean, this Cavaliers team is pretty boring. Nobody's getting really. There's not a guy that's, if somebody gets hurt, who could come in and be a crazy good fantasy player. Karis LeVert, even if you give him 30 minutes, is okay. Like the volume numbers, the volume counting stats, but the other thing is not so good. For the Bucks, this is ugly loss. Damian Lillard, bad. 22 points with 24 shots. Yeah, the Bucks got to figure something. Giannis had 5 fouls and 6 turnovers. Damian Lillard also had 4 turnovers. They just have a lot of turnovers. They don't take care of the ball, and then Doc Rivers is coming in, so let's see. Giannis, the assist has been high lately. Another almost triple-double, a steal and a block. And again, Brook Lopez did his thing, a steal and 2 blocks, 12 rebounds. And Chris Middleton just have been balling lately. But other than the starting players, Malik Beasley, I don't think he's a must roster, just a stream, because the minutes it's up and down. Yeah, the Bucks got to figure something out. They have a lot of talent, but yeah, they got to be like the Oklahoma City Thunder. When they win, when they play a bad team, you got to blow them up. Well, I don't think Pelicans is a bad team, but that tells you how good this Oklahoma City Thunder team is. I feel like they're getting better too. That's the scary part. And look at the core is young. So there might be like the whole. I think it took KD, Russell Westbrook, and Harden how many. It took them similar years. They got to the final one time, but I think if this core stick together, it's looking scary. Shea, of course, 31 points. Yeah, don't even need to read his stats, and he's not very consistent. Honestly, very very consistent. Chet Holmgren, a big game, 20 points, is still in 2 blocks, 13 rebounds, and 2 threes. Really good game actually. Jalen Williams, 7 assists is good. No defensive stats. Overall okay game. They all play super well, plus 22, and Lou Dort played 25 minutes. I don't think we actually want to stream him either. He's not getting 30 minutes. He start against 25, and Josh Giddey too. He would start again 23, and some of the minutes goes to the rest of like Cason Wallace is good. He's good. He can shoot, and had 4 steals. And was Isaiah Joe is also a sniper. Right, some of those guys they came out. The Kitchen Williams is also solid. Right, they came out the bench and contribute pretty good. Aaron Wiggins too. For the Pelicans, just a bad loss with Zion didn't play here, and they started Trey Murphy. because the blowout. I think otherwise Murphy and Herbert Jones maybe they got a few extra minutes. But again, with everybody healthy, Murphy and Herbert Jones, they're just streamers. Unless Herbert Jones can get more defensive stats, his defensive stats really fall off since the beginning of the season, and that's majority of his value. CJ McCollum, 2 steals, not bad. 2 3 12 points. Brandon Ingram had 2 blocks and 9 assists. Valanciunas had a 14 and 9. Yeah, I mean this Pelican team also very very talented, in Zion, but just not enough versus Oklahoma State Thunder. The last game of the night, the Spurs and Portland, the number 1 and number 2 pick, and Fernie Simons, 40 points, 40 minutes, 10 assists, 7 threes. That's what he could do, and rightfully so, right? Scoot Henderson came out the bench, played just 6 minutes. I think at some point they're gonna play Scoot Henderson more minutes. He is the second round pick. I mean, this when they picked him, it is really interesting because they got a Fernie Simons, they got Malcolm Brogdon, they also have Shader Sharp, right? They have a lot of guards on this team, and just to not start your second pick, it's a little interesting. Matisse Thybulle, like in the short term, we could stream him because with all the injuries going on. Jeremy Grant also out. Yeah, these are the guys like veterans like Brogdon, Jeremy Grant. This is why I try to sell high whenever they have good games. They also could get traded to a different situation. Brogdon was also out. I would sell high. I would really try to sell high in Brogdon, especially. DeAndre Ayton had another big game. Okay, that's good. I mean, he's out majority of the season. Now he's back. At least took 17 shots. That's encouraging. Jabari Parker goes 1 for 5, but he needs to be rostered as well. He's getting huge minutes. The minutes is there. I don't think he's an amazing fantasy player, but let's just see, like, given the minutes, how many defensive stats you could get, how many rebounds, how many assists. Moving on to the Spurs, how about Jeremy Sohan? Must roster at the moment. He's up and down. I think last game he was bad, but playing a bad Portland team, 31 points just goes off, 14 rebounds, 4 threes, 2 steals. He's been getting good minutes. Absolutely must roster at the moment. Victor Wembanyama, the minutes has been trending up, and now apparently he can play back-to-back now. But he doesn't need crazy minutes to put up numbers, to be honest. 23 points and 12 rebounds in 28 minutes. I don't know next year. Next year for sure he's a first-round player, I think. I will pick him end of first or early second. And people worry that he's gonna miss a lot of games. Well, he's already 13th ranked player, so I mean he might even go higher. I mean at some point he's gonna be number 1 ranked player. Just because the blocks, he's already averaging 3.2 blocks in 20 minutes. His issue right now is his low efficiency. Not even that, like 46%. It's just 3.3 turnovers is really hurting his overall value. But he could honestly average 3.5 blocks. Easy. Just too big. Devin Vassell, 15 points, 2 threes. Okay, he's a must roster. And Trey Jones had 7 assists and 3 steals. He's also a must roster. Just 24 minutes here. So some of the Spurs guys, like, they started getting minutes and playing better. Keldon Johnson also had a big game. Is he a must roster? I know Jeremy Sohan is, and Trey Jones and Devin Vassell. Keldon Johnson maybe. He's really up and down. He had a really up and down year, because I think for a good stretch he was starting. Now he came off the bench. The minutes is inconsistent. That's it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.